Hi, I want to show you how to make a major scale like the one I just played. But first, let's go over some basics. The musical alphabet consists of the first 7 letters of the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Up and back. But that's not all the notes. So to understand the notes that are in between these, we have to go over some definitions. First one is this, half step, or semitone. That means going from one fret to the next on the same string, either up or down. So let's say we're on this fret right here on the guitar. If we wanted to go a semitone, up, we'd be doing there. Semitone down would be right there on the same string. Here to there, doesn't matter, semitone. Whole step is 2 frets on the same string, either up or down. Whole step or whole tone. Same thing. Let's say we're here, 2 frets to there, whole step up, whole tone up. If we were here, whole tone down, be right there. So half step, whole step. Half step 1 fret, whole step 2 frets. Second word is sharp. Sharp means to raise a note a half a step, or a semitone. So let's say we had this note right here happens to be an A. If we wanted it to be an A sharp, if we wanted to sharp that note, we'd raise it 1 semitone, 1 half step, it'd be A sharp. If we had, let's say we had an E right here, and we lowered it, it'd be E flat. This is a guitar right here, but the same idea is, you sharp a note, you raise it up a fret, flat a note, you lower it down a fret. Okay, so what we have here is, in the blue letters are the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and in between them is the sharp and the flat, meaning this. If I take this A note and I raise it a half a step, if I sharp it, it becomes A sharp. If I take this B note and I lower it a half step, if I flat it, it becomes a B flat. So this note here could either be called A sharp or B flat. Now let's find an A on this diagram here. Okay, so here's our letters. We'll take the A string, because that's just as easy when the guitar is tuned to standard tuning. The 5th string here, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th string. This 5th string here is an A. The 1st fret would be A sharp or B flat, because this would be B. So this is the open string here, it's A. 1 fret higher, it's A sharp. 1 more, it's B. If we lowered that B down, it'd be B flat. So what we have is, in between a lot of these notes, we have what's called an enharmonic tone. A sharp and B flat. It's 2 different names, 1 sound. If you notice, not every one of these notes has a sharp or a flat in between them. There's no sharp or flat between B and C and E and F. That's critical to remember that, to be able to make major scales and do stuff in music. No sharp or flat between B and C and E and F. If you look on a piano, the black keys are the sharps and flats, the white keys are the A, B, C, D, F, G, are the regular letters. You'll notice that between B and C, E and F, there's no black E. So let's say we look and see why I've written this like this. What I did was I started from A, and if you notice on the guitar we have dots, 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 dots. You'll have 2 dots at the 12th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is the 12th fret. If you remember, once you get back to the 12th fret, you start over again. Why is that? Well, we'll take a starting spot here on, let's say, this G. We'll go to G. Once we go here, we go back around to here, there to there, to there, to there, to there, to there, back around. And I did this like this so that you could see that there's 12 semitones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No matter where you start. If you started with A, you'd go all the way to here and be back to A. If you started with C, you'd go all the way to here and we'd be back to C again. After the B would be a C. So it doesn't matter where you start. You can start in any of these 12 locations. You always come back around. So let's say we're going to start, like we said, on this G. We'll go up here to, we'll go to G right there. It doesn't matter. We could use either this one or this one. We'll start with this G right here. So the G is going to be the open string. The first fret would be the G sharp or the A flat. This would be the A. That'd be the A sharp or the B flat. That'd be the B. Here would be the C. C sharp or D flat. 7th fret's D. D sharp or E flat. E. F. F sharp or G flat. Back to G again. So, to recap, we have a musical alphabet that has A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. In between most of the letters are the enharmonic tones, the sharps or the flats. So in between A and B is either A sharp, a little higher than A, a little lower than B. A sharp or B flat. There isn't any sharp or flat between B and C. Between C and D, either C sharp or D flat. Between D and E, D sharp, E flat. Not between E and F, no sharp or flat. Between F and G is F sharp or G flat. Between G and A, because there would be an A here, G sharp or A flat. So, come back in a second, and we're going to see how to make a major scale. Okay, so now what we have is the secret magic formula for all of music. And that formula is 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1. Now, if you were to add these numbers up, 2 plus 2 plus 1, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This equals 12, which equals the 12 semitones that we have, which correlates to the 12 semitones that we have on the guitar for the first octave of the guitar. So, another way we could say that would be W means whole step, H means half step. So, the formula for a do, re, mi major scale is right here. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. And as a quick aside, once we decided that we knew two things. One, we knew that the standard tuning for the guitar is, of course, E, A, D, G, B, E, or commonly known as Eddie 8 Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie. If we know that, and we also know this, that there's no sharp or flat between B and C and E and F, be able to extrapolate and say what every note on the entire guitar is, on the entire fretboard. So let's say we take the E and we'll go right up this first string right here, and we're going to see what each one of these notes is going up here. So we have E, this is going to be F, this is going to be F sharp, G flat, it's going to be G, it's going to be G sharp, A flat, that would be A sharp, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D flat, D, D sharp, E flat, back to E. There we have our notes on our first string and also on the sixth string. It would work for both of them. So now let's take a look and see how we're going to make a major scale. The way that I've been making a major scale since a very long time was this method right here. First thing you do is you take some starting spot. So let's say we want to make a G major scale. I'm going to start with G, as our first note. First thing you do is you write all the 7 letters down in order. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Second thing you do is you take and write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 underneath each one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have a half step between this and this, so that's going to correlate to a half step between 3 and 4 and 7 and 8. Because our formula now falls right here. We have a 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1. This is our formula right there. Falls right in between these notes. So, if we write the letters in sequence, write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 underneath each one of the letters. Put a little mark noting that we're going to have a half step between the 3rd and 4th degree and the 7th and 8th degree. And now we go ahead and we plug in what we have with our formula up here. 2 pieces of information that we have. So, what we need to do is we have a whole step from G. So here's G. So this is a semitone or a half step, so I need a whole step from G. That makes A. A is good. Now I need a whole step again from A. A goes to B. It's good to go. Now I need a half step from B, because it's right here. So this falls perfectly. B goes right to C. Did it right here. B goes right to C. Now I need another whole step between C and D. That works out perfectly. I need another whole step between D and E. D to E. Works out fine. Now I need a whole step from E. A whole step from E isn't F, because that's only a half step. A whole step is F sharp. So that means now I have to do this. I have to say F is going to be an F sharp now. Now I need a half step from F sharp to G, and that works out fine. So now I have my formula, my do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, da. It's going to be 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, and these are going to be the letters. Let's say we start with G. We'd have G, a whole step to A, whole step to B, C, D, E, F sharp to G. So if you wanted to play a G major scale on the open 3rd string, you would play open, fret 2, fret 4, fret 5, fret 7, fret 9, fret 11, fret 12. Try that on your guitar and see if you don't get a do, re, mi major scale. We're going to do this with every one of these starting spots, but this is how it's done. Okay, so let's put this into action with a couple of these spots here. Let's say we're going to start with something other than a blue letter, right? Instead of regular, let's start with a B flat, okay? We're going to start with a B flat. We're going to follow the same direction. So B flat, and then going to go everything after that. B flat, C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat once again, right? We don't do B flat then B because we're doing a B. The B flat is the one we're doing. So it wouldn't be B. But we could start with B and then that would be B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. But we're starting with B flat. We're starting with this degree right here. Could have called it A sharp, we're going to call it B flat. So we have B flat, C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat. We're going to write 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 beneath each one of the letters. Between 3 and 4, 7 and 8. It's going to be our half steps in between those. And now we're going to do the work. So I need, like we said, and I'll write it in a different way this time, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Same exact thing. We could have called it 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1. I need a whole step from B flat. That's a whole step is a whole tone. It's going to be C. A half step or a semitone would have been to B, but I need a whole step from B flat. So from B flat to C is the whole step, and that's just fine. I need another whole step now from C. Makes D. It's perfect. Now I need a half step from D. It's not E because from D to E would be 2 frets, that'd be a whole step. I only need a half a step. So I need this note right here, D sharp or E flat. Now I'm going to call this an E flat because if I called it a D sharp, then my scale would be said as B flat, C, D, D sharp, F, G, and that would exclude the letter E of some kind in the scale. I need to go in sequence letter by letter, no matter what I do to the letter, sharp them, flat them, double sharp them, double flat them, it doesn't matter. It needs to go from letter to letter to letter. So that's why this goes from a D at the 3rd degree of the scale, half step away, it's going to be an E flat, not a D sharp. It needs to be called an E flat. So now I need a whole step again from E flat. That puts me right to F. Now I need a whole step from F. That puts me to G. I need a whole step from G. That brings me back to A, right? G to A. And now I need a half step from A, B flat. So I'm back again. So what do I have here? I have 2 flats in the key of B flat and E flat. This one I don't count twice because I already counted it once. So there's 2 flats in the key of B flat. If we looked at a key signature like that, we would see that we have 2 flats in the beginning of the song, and then we would have like 4/4 time or something after that. This would tell us that the key of this song is B flat, and that would mean a lot of other stuff that we'll go over a little bit later. But suffice it to say that if you saw a piece of music with this, every B and every E in that song would be flatted unless there was a natural sign. So this would be the formula for a B flat. We can do this with every other starting spot. But the answer key to all this is this. There's a thing called the circle of fifths. And it will tell us if we count going this way by 5s or going this way by 4. So you can go around 5 all the way and 4 all the way. But it's like a clock, right? So if you do a do re mi scale starting with C, you get no sharps, no flats. If you start a do re mi scale like we did before with G, we get 1 sharp. If you do this starting from D, you're going to get 2 sharps. If you do it starting from A, you're going to get 3 sharps. If you were to do it from E, you would get 4 sharps. And if you were to do it from B, you would get 5 sharps. And if you were to do it from F sharp, you would get 6 sharps. Why did I say F sharp? Well, we sharped F in the first one that we started with over here. F sharp was the first sharp we had when we did G. So it's going to be F sharp. Let's go around by 4 this way. If we have F, we have 1 flat. B flat, we just saw, has 2 flats. E flat is going to have 3 flats. A flat is going to have 4 flats. D flat is going to have 5 flats. And then G flat, which would be the same as F sharp, right? F sharp, G flat, it's the same thing. That's going to have 6 flats in it. So this would be all 12 of our starting spots, isn't it? We would have C, and then either C sharp or D flat. Then we would have D. Then we'd have either D sharp or E flat. Then we'd have E. Then we'd have F. Then we'd have F sharp or G flat. Then we would have G. Then we'd have G sharp or A flat. Then we would have A. then we'd have A sharp or B flat, then we'd have B, and back to C. So this is all 12 of the starting spots. If you go around by this way by fives, C, D, E, F, G, get G, G, A, B, C, D, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, E, F, G, A, B, B, C, D, E, F sharp, or G flat. Going around this way by fours, you get C, D, E, F, F, G, A, B flat, because the first flat we have in F is B flat, B, C, D, E flat, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, D, E, F, G. So this is sometimes referred to as the circle of fifths. Sometimes people call it the circle of fourths. But if you go around this way by fives, you end up back here. If you go around this way by fours, you end up back there too. One, both the same. So this is the answer key right here to this. When you start a do, re, mi scale, from any of these 12 starting spots, this would be the number of sharps or flats you would get in every one of these keys. You'll never get sharps and flats in a do, re, mi scale. You'll either be getting sharps or you'll be getting flats. So try to make a do, re, mi scale from each one of these. And if you need more information, look up the circle of fourths or the circle of fifths and get a good idea of what this is. It's the answer key for the do, re, mi scale. And there's a lot more to this than meets the eye.